My phone is dead and I can't find the apartment that I'm looking for. I've got 30 pounds of camera equipment on my back. My face is freezing. My hands are numb, my credit cards are maxed out, and my company is on the brink of shutdown. I looked up into the dark night sky and I said, how did we get here? When we launched Airbnb in 2008, we knew that we were onto something that we thought and believed people would one day love. It was a service that allowed hosts to open up their homes and share it with guests to connect with a new type of hospitality. In the beginning, it was exciting to see new hosts and guests sign up, but at a rate of 1 to 2 hosts per week, it wasn't catching on quite as fast as it needed to. As this went on for 8 months, we were starting to lose both time and money. Now, when your startup isn't working out, you can do a lot of things. You can bang your head on your desk. You can pull out your hair. You can curse the startup gods. And believe me, we did all of these things. But we also became curious. We were curious as we puzzled over the data of why the service wasn't working. And we noticed something. We noticed that we were in San Francisco, and most of our hosts were in New York City. So when you have a lot of people who don't use your service, it actually gives you a lot of time to focus on those who do. And we noticed something. We noticed the pattern. The pattern was this. The pictures of listings were terrible. I mean, really bad. There were pictures of kitchens with dirty dishes and bathrooms with toilet seats that were up. There were even photos that were just blurry. And what's worse than a blurry photo than one taken at night? That's when one of our mentors, a guy named Paul Graham, gave us a piece of advice that changed the course of Airbnb. Let's take a minute and listen to what that advice was.
So I said, go meet your hosts. And the Airbnbs did. They went to New York and they went door to door talking to hosts.
We came up with a crazy solution. We traveled to New York, rent professional photography equipment, and photograph those listings for free. How hard could that be? It turns out plenty hard. However, we got to meet most of our hosts in New York, and we got to learn from them. We got to hear what they liked, what they didn't like, what did they want to have fixed. When we got back to San Francisco, we uploaded the photos, we made the improvements, and something remarkable happened. The numbers, which had been stagnant for months, suddenly doubled. So next weekend, what did we do? We went right back to New York City. We met more hosts. We learned about more things that they wanted. We listened to them. And when we came back to San Francisco, we made the changes. We uploaded more photos, and the numbers doubled yet again. We continued this for 10 months, including coming to Paris in 2009 to start to get a European perspective on what we needed to listen to. So, listening to hosts has been one of the most important things. And we know that it's changed the course of the company, the impact that you've had on us as we've grown from a few in New York to now over 35,000 in New York alone. The impact of what you tell us, the impact of us listening to you, has dramatically changed the course of Airbnb. In 2012, Hurricane Sandy hit New York, displacing thousands of people. A host in Brooklyn named Shell sent us an email. She said, Airbnb, actually, let's say this in her words.
I opened up my home because it was the right thing to do. I emailed the company and I couldn't believe what happened next.
We got that email. We were so impressed and inspired by her generosity that we changed our system to allow her and anyone else who wanted to share their home for those displaced. Guess what happened next? We ended up on the phone with the mayor of New York City, Mayor Bloomberg. And it led to a partnership of New York promoting this so that those without a home could stay with Airbnb hosts, offering theirs for free. So picture this, Shell sends an email, we change our system, and the leadership of her city endorses it. But we didn't stop there. We took what we learned from that experience and we built a global disaster response system so that hosts anywhere around the world could respond to local emergencies. It's now a global system. All of this came from one host with one idea. From day one, Airbnb's success has been directly linked to how much we listen to you. But this sometimes creates a paradox because the more we listen to you, the faster we grew. The faster we grew, the harder it became to listen. Because now the company extends around the world. We have bookings happening every second. And today alone, there'll be thousands of customer service inquiries that come in. This on top of the mobilization and legislation that you just saw. This on top of new technology, there's a lot of noise. But through this, you've stuck with us to make Airbnb better for all of us. And for this, we are grateful. So this week, we're going to introduce some new ways for you to communicate with us and for us to listen. And so I'd like to demonstrate this for you right now. Can I get a volunteer in the audience? Can I get a volunteer? Okay, good. Do you mind standing up, please? Okay, as a host volunteer here, could you tell us your name? Great. And could you tell us your favorite type of sandwich? Excellent. Now, was everybody able to hear that? Okay, well, let's try something different then. Can you take this and tell us your name and your favorite type of sandwich?
So my name is Aline, and my favorite type of sandwich is ham.
All right, Aline loves a ham sandwich. Thank you so much, Aline. Airbnb Open is an incredible opportunity for us to give you the mic. There's 5,000 incredible hosts from around the world. All of you with valuable ideas and insights, and we want to hear them. That's why we brought over 600 people from around the world, from every department within Airbnb, to be here to listen to what's on your mind. We've come up with some interesting ways over the next 3 days to hand the mic over to you, and some really fun ways to show you that you've been heard. For example, we've created a new team called the Mobile Ear Team. And it's a group of team members running around, and you can find them because they're wearing a badge that looks like this. And if you see this team member, share your story with them. Share your idea or your suggestion. That's what they're there for. You'll find 16 interactive booths in the Grand Hall where you get to share your story. There's a new features center in the pavilion where you'll get to check out new features and give feedback on them. And later this afternoon, our product team will share things they've been working on directly related to your feedback. So, what are we looking to learn over the next couple of days? Well, there's a couple of things. The first are the small gestures, the things that you do for your guests that have a big impact. The second are slightly bigger. They're the fixes and improvements that you know you want to see happen on the site. And last are the really, really big things. And we'll get to those in a second. So let's talk about a small gesture. One host told me that when he has a couple stay with him, he will actually reach out to one of the guests and ask the other's favorite flower bouquet. So when they arrive, the guest's favorite flowers are waiting for them in their listing. It's a small gesture, but it has a big impact. Now, we wanted to name these types of moments, so we're in France. Why don't we call these moments de joie? Translated, that means moments of joy. I've actually had this experience as well. When guests come through my doors in San Francisco, I hand them an envelope. Inside the envelope is something that the previous guest has left for them. And so when that guest checks out, they leave something behind as well, and the cycle continues. It's a small thing, but it brings a big smile to their face. Now, I'm sure so many of you have moments of joy that you do for your guests, and we want to hear about them. Later today, our Director of Hospitality, Laura Hughes, will tell you how to share your moments with us. So next, we'd like to hear your wish list of improvements. Now, I have a feeling that most of you in this room are some of the most active hosts on our site, using our apps and the website, which means that you have great insights into what's working and what's not. So, is there a small upgrade you'd love to see? Is there a bug you'd love us to fix? Okay, let's do something here. Since we care about this so much, I'd love for you to take out your phones right now, and I want you to email me directly. Just that one little thing. Seriously, joe.gebby@airbnb.com. We are so serious about this. Whatever that thing is, the reason that you just said yes, I'd like you to email me. We'll just take 60 seconds. Send me that small little bug, that little fix, that tiny upgrade that you're like, if they could just do this, it'd make my life as a host so much easier. It'd probably take 5 minutes. So I'm told the network is Airbnb Open 2015, and the password is belong anywhere. So what we're gonna do is when it comes back on, you can email me direct, send me your bugs because we want to fix them. Okay. So finally, the really, really big things. And this is the most interesting category. One of our earliest mentors, Paul Graham, taught us to listen to our customers because it was our job to make something people wanted. And Airbnb wouldn't exist without homes and without hosts. So our job, our responsibility, is to make sure that you're happy, to make sure that you have the information and the tools that you need to be a great host. How do we do that? We know that we need to do more than small fixes and modest improvements when the site breaks. Our ambition for a long-term relationship with you is much bigger than that. We want to plant the seeds of imagination with you together so that we can nurture a relationship that could one day be as strong and sturdy as a sequoia tree. Which leads me to this question. As mentors to us, what is the one thing we need to do to support you hosting for life? Think about that. We really want to know how you'd answer that. I want each and every one of you to write down your answer or email me direct, because we're going to come back to this on Saturday. We're going to visit this again on day 3. We're here to listen to you this week, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.